Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S back here with another video. This video is a bit late planned or whatnot, but anyway, um, actually I didn't really plan it. But I couldn't decide what video to make. Anyway, so a few weeks ago, obviously, for those who don't know, it's not obvious, but Italy won the Euros, so obviously I'm quite happy about that. But there's some prize money that Italy won for winning the Euros. So I thought I'd talk about some ideas about what they could be spent on. And of course, there are many other things, many other causes or things they could spend this money on if they wanted to. Obviously, whatever they wanted to spend it on, which would be their choice. But I thought I'd offer some of my own personal suggestions, which I think the money could go on, could be used for good. Some people might say there's too much money involved in football, when there's so many other issues that could be that money could be used for, or that footballers get paid too much to do what they do. But obviously that's a different debate. But another thing people say is that footballers, when they play for the nation, for the national team, they shouldn't get paid at all, really, because it should be something you do for pride, and they get enough money for playing for their club teams. Excuse me, for their club teams like Man United or whatever. Anywho, obviously that's a different debate for another video, because that would take so long to talk about. But I mean, I find it quite interesting, all these transfers and things like that. But I can understand the point that they do get a lot of money for what goes on in the world and that sort of thing. But I think it would be good, as I say, because of that, for footballers to give back to those who are less fortunate, which many footballers do. And I think it should be of their own free will. I don't believe in telling people what to do. And hopefully, anyone who's watched my channel for a while will know, that I don't believe in telling people what to do with their money or their time or whatever. And I think people should make choices. But anyway, I thought I'd offer a few suggestions which I think the Serie or Italian team or national team could use prize money for, which I believe is about 34 million euros or something like that. I think it would have been interesting if it was in pounds sterling, and if it was 30 million pound exactly. And as I normally talk about my 30-point lists, this is going to be another one of my 30-point list videos where I break them into 3 different parts, so that hopefully they're not too long. Anyway, the intro I think has gone on a bit long, so I'm going to try and crack on with my video. Again, these are just my own personal suggestions, and as an Italian football fan, I think it'd be pretty cool if Italian players valued winning more than they valued getting lots of money or having big houses or cars or things like that. So I think it would be great if maybe even they donated their earnings, even in the future, from the national team, or even their general wealth or money, to fund Italian football, like football pitches and things like that for young people in Italy, especially, but yeah, basically, or people from the diaspora who can play for Italy in the future, maybe, and get them into the game. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it another time perhaps. But here goes. So here are some of the causes which I think the Italian team could spend that 30 million prize money on. Again, I think it'd be great if it was like in pounds sterling, or maybe even UEFA could, or even FIFA could top up some of that money to be spent on good causes, or because it's good causes, they could top up the prize money to like make it into sterling instead of euros, which I think would be more. Anyway, so here goes. So maybe even giving £1 million to each of these causes if they could. So from that prize money, if at all possible. Again, I think the prize money is a bit under 30 million pounds sterling, but when you convert it to sterling. But I think it'd be great if, again, maybe FIFA or UEFA or some charity or NGO could top up that prize money or whatever. But here goes anyway. So number one, I think it'd be great for the Italian football team to donate to Eritrea, because Italy colonized Eritrea in the past. So like it could be going towards making up for that, for the historical oppression or colonization of Eritrea. So they could spend that on things like technology or business to improve their economy. And again, that would make up for Italy colonizing Eritrea in the past. Number two, also Tunisia, which Italy has colonized a few times. It could also like cement relations, but it could be used to ideally, I'd love to see a £1 million. The Italian football team donate, as I say, the prize money, £1 million for each of these things, if they could, and obviously if they'd be willing to do so. But that's what I would ideally like to see. But again, Tunisia like to support businesses and technology and training training in STEM and other areas for Tunisia, again, to make up for colonizing Tunisia in the past, taking over Tunisia and that sort of thing. Number 3, again, another country Italy colonized was Ethiopia, or tried to colonize at least, or invaded and tried to take over, which I see is a negative thing. So I think it would be good to make up for that sort of thing, as I normally talk about anti-imperialism, although I'm an Italian fan, just to mix it up. I often joke about being mixed race and being mixed up. So anyway, but I think it'd be great, again, to give back to Ethiopia for colonizing them. Again, if they could donate $1 million, if they had that money to give, it would be pretty cool, I think. Number 4, again, I think it'd be great if they gave the same amount of money to possibly each country that, well, not each country perhaps, but as many countries that were colonized by Italy as possible, by the Roman Empire in the past, or by Italy generally, which I suppose was done by the empire itself. Number 5, again, I think it would be good to donate, for Italy to donate to especially countries that it colonized in the past, but also countries that were colonized, or developing or colonized countries just generally as much as possible, even countries like Iraq, Vietnam, places like that, that due to sort of making up for imperialism, and it could go towards healthcare, education, training in STEM, and things like that, which I've talked about before. And again, it would be making up for colonizing the countries, or being an imperialistic power in the past, perhaps. And at the same time, maybe those countries, it could improve relations with those countries through football. So getting more fans and supporters from those countries, if they give back. So hopefully it'll be a mutually beneficial thing. Number 6, I think, for the benefit of Italian football in the future, like investing in areas, spaces for sport, or places to play for young people in Italy, like, so that they will become good footballers in the future. So I think that would be a cool thing, and maybe even like helping to brand Italian football or market Italian football, like so it will be like an investment in the future. So it'll come back to benefit Italian football, and I suppose that's a bit of a biased one, but it will again, to pay for these places where people can go and play football and train for the future, but also like marketing and branding Italian football, including Serie A or even the lower leagues, grassroots and things like that. So improving the brand and image around the world, and like by giving back, again, it looks better. Again, that's part of PR, but also strengthening relations with those countries as well. So again, it will come back to benefit Italian football, hopefully. So it'll be like an investment in the future, hopefully. And like building supporters, clubs, and different academies, not just in Italy, but also around the world, for all possible Italian teams and the national team as well. Number 7, as a Celtic fan, I'd love to see, as a fan of both Italian football and Celtic, I would love to see improved relations between the two of them. And again, like, so donating money to help Celtic's academies, Celtic to develop academies, as well as like, Celtic could use that money as well on transfers, perhaps, or a certain amount of it. Half it could go to academies, and half it could go to buying new players or things like that, or whatever other costs will benefit Celtic, excuse me, as a club. And hopefully that will lead to more trophies for Celtic, but also cement the relationship between Italian football and Celtic, and like, so they can work together on ideas and projects and like training and things like that in the future, maybe like training together, especially the youth, to develop them in the future and that sort of thing. Number 8, I think it'd be great also to, as well as helping to fund healthcare and education around the world, especially in developing countries and colonized countries, it'd be great to also invest in projects that tackle hatred or prejudice and things like white supremacy or basically prejudism, sexism, racism, or whatever, maybe. Possibly something like that, and maybe to improve relations between Italians and people who have different cultures or backgrounds through football. Again, maybe in the future, hopefully they could travel, excuse me, to, so people from Africa and other parts of the world could travel to Italy and play football, and vice versa. And again, giving back to some of the countries that were colonized, especially by Italy itself, and tackling prejudice, as I say, and hatred and negative things, and like trying to make the world a better place, again, through healthcare, education, and that sort of thing. Number 9, again, I think it'd be great to help countries, as say, like Ethiopia and Tunisia, Eritrea, and places like that, to help them to network with each other and maybe even like support their football teams. Support them to develop football, but also like help them with tech training and also some of their priorities and plans, healthcare, education, training, and even supporting their projects like their just general projects, including poetry, writing, and things like that. Supporting, for instance, Ethiopian writers and poets and entrepreneurs and things like that, and creative people. And number 10, again, supporting young people and children, animals, disadvantaged people, animal rights, animal welfare, and things like that around the world, and the 10% poorest people around the world, and things like that, perhaps, or in all possible countries. Hope that made some sense, and I'd love to hear your 2 cents, or what do they say, basically your opinions in the comment section, and peace out. I'm out.